We've seen the helper methods for style sheets and JavaScripts. Rails also has a helper for a third type of page asset, images. And images follow similar conventions to the other two asset types. Just like style sheets and JavaScripts, by default, Rails is going to expect that our images will be kept inside the folder public, inside a folder called images, which it's already created for us. Unlike the other two, though, it doesn't assume a default file extension. You might use .gif, you might use .png, you might use .jpg, but you must include it when you call the image so that Rails knows which one you want to load in. It won't make an assumption. You'll see in the third point that I've noted that you can also have subfolders in your images folder. This is true of style sheets and JavaScripts as well, but I think it comes up less often there than it does with images, so that you might want to group a whole bunch of images together. Let's say we have a folder called company logos, and we put all of the company logos into that folder. If you did, you would just need to prefix the file name with whatever subfolder name was. So company logos / logo1.png. Rails will still assume that the starting location to find those subfolders is inside public images. Let's take a look and see how we can add images. So we'll find the images folder inside the public folder and inside a folder called images. So there it is. And by default, Rails gives us this rails.png file. If we just load that up in a browser, we can take a look. It's just the Rails logo. I'll be using that as a demonstration image since everyone should have that in their application. If you'd rather, feel free to use your own image instead. So unlike style sheets and JavaScripts, we don't need to preload anything. We just call an image whenever we need it. So I'm going to switch over to the view for demo. And let's go to our index page that we created before. So this is just a real simple template. And all we want to do is add the image tag to this. So output an image tag for rails.png. That's it. That's all we have to do. And that will find that file for us. Let's save it and try it out. Let's make sure our web server is running. Rails server. Switch over to Firefox. And demo. Now we just want to go to index. There it is. So our image pops up right here. If you take a look at view page source, you'll see that it output an image tag, and it hopefully gave us an alt tag as well, and it appended this modified time at the end. And just like with JavaScripts and style sheets, it helps to make sure that a browser flushes the cached version of this image if the image modified date changes. That's really all there is to adding images. Let me just show you a couple of the options though that are very useful. We can put in the size, and we can do that by just saying 50 by 64. That's the size of this image already. Rails will take that and break it up into the height and width attributes. We can also pass in explicitly width and height the exact same way as we do size and just give them as separate values. And then alt, if we don't want to use what it gives us, we can say Rails logo. And then that will use our alt tag instead. Let's just take a look at that real quick. Firefox, reload the page, and let's view the source. And you can see that it did exactly what we expected. That's really all there is to being able to use images. But I think it's a lot easier to use the Rails helper and call things in a very Ruby-friendly way than it is to write out a long line of HTML.